Welcome to Workplace Psychology with Dr. Martha Greidick. I'm Dr. Martha Greidick. This podcast examines a wide variety of work-related issues through the lens of industrial and organizational psychology. And while many of the topics discussed here may be seen as intended for white-collar employees and their employers, in reality, the ideas presented here are applicable across organizations and industries. Additionally, many of the topics discussed here may be applicable outside of the workplace. I encourage you to examine what's presented here, apply what makes sense to you, and simply discard the rest. We live in a world filled with a great deal of change, and that includes the workplace. Whether we're talking about things such as remote work, or job crafting, or job hopping, or quiet quitting, or anything else out there that's pertained to the changes that we're seeing at the workplace, this is part of our reality. Collectively, people are looking for more meaning, more satisfaction from their jobs. More and more people are seeking better work-life balance, and that means a balance that may be more important than contributing to their employer or their organization. That may even mean more than career advancement for some people. As people pursue a better experience at the workplace and a better relationship with their job, many of them seek out more autonomy at work. And if more autonomy at work is something that sounds inviting or enticing to you, if this is something that you may be seeking from your job, consider what exactly does that mean to you to have more autonomy at work. What would that look like if you got your wish? It's important to remember that rarely is it the case in life where we get something for nothing, such is the case here. If you want more autonomy at work, it won't come without anything in return. If you want more autonomy at work, in short, you will have to earn it. If you want something from your employer, or anyone else for that matter, and in this case, autonomy or more autonomy, you will have to give your employer a reason. You will have to contribute in such a way, contribute to the organization as a whole in such a way that will warrant granting this wish. In other words, the bottom line is the bottom line. Consider, how are you contributing to the organization and its ultimate goal? How are your time there and your efforts at work contributing to what the organization wants to accomplish? Ask yourself, what is it that the organization is trying to accomplish? What is its goal? What is its purpose? And how are you contributing to that? And your contribution can take many forms. It can look very different from how others at the organization contribute. So don't worry about anybody else when you think about this. Think about your own contribution. What is it that you do to help the organization to reach the goal or goals that it has? It's important to consider some pretty straightforward things. Things like your productivity, your motivation, your reliability. How trustworthy are you? And how much supervision do you require? If these sound very straightforward, that's because they are. But they're also a very good way of gauging where you are in gaining that wish of having more autonomy at work. If you are not contributing from your end in a way that is meaningful to the organization, asking for that wish to be granted to you, the wish of more autonomy, may not be a sure deal yet. And make sure that you don't get caught up with this concept of autonomy, or anything else for that matter, as some kind of an entitlement or a privilege. That's not how the real world works, and I think you already know that. The other thing to remember is that your position with the company is pretty irrelevant when it comes to this. It doesn't matter what you do, what your job description, what your title, what your role is. It's about your individual contribution in that role that you hold at the organization. At the end of the day, it all comes down about having that chance, having that opportunity to earn your ability to have more autonomy at work. If you have expressed that wish, that desire in the past, and it hasn't worked out in your favor, now is a good time to examine where you stand with the organization. Where could you contribute differently or more efficiently or in a more pronounced way? In most cases, what you have to do is give the organization a reason to give you more autonomy. And then once you have it, you have to keep up your end of that deal, your end of that bargain. So if more autonomy is truly what you want and you haven't gotten it yet, do a little self-reflecting, make an assessment of how you contribute to the organization, to the company where you work, and then make the appropriate requests. And if you think your case is weak at this point, then work on improving how you contribute to the organization, its well-being, and its goals, and then speak to the right people about having more autonomy at work. It's very doable for most positions and most organizations. So this is truly what you want. I encourage you to explore these ideas here and see how you can change your time at the workplace and your relationship with your job and your employer in such a way that you find it more satisfactory to be at work and contribute to the organization's goals. As this episode comes to an end, let's review what was discussed. We live in the world of change, and one of those changes, of course, is the workplace. We have seen a great deal of new things, new concepts, and new ways of working. One of the things that many people have been searching for is better work-life balance, or just better balance in life in general. One of the things that may be part of that for many is an increase in autonomy when it comes to their workplace experience. If that's something you're interested in, you have to understand that we get to give someone a reason to give us something in return. It can't be an assumption or an entitlement. Nothing in this world is for free, at least not when it comes to things like that. So if you are interested in having more autonomy at work, consider how you are contributing to that organization and its achievement of their ultimate goals and its success. Once you have that figured out, all you have to do from there is ask and make a convincing case why you should be able to enjoy more autonomy at work, but know that comes with responsibilities all of their own. So be sure that you are ready and willing to keep up your part of that deal. As the week unfolds, I encourage you to contemplate your level of autonomy at work, and if it's something where you would like to see more of it, take what you learned here today and apply it in your life in such a way that you can achieve your goals. You can get that wish checked off from your wish list at the workplace. For those of you who experience my podcast in an audio-only version, I encourage you to check out my YouTube channel, Stress Free with Dr. G, where you can find the video version of the podcast. In addition to that, you can also find videos that focus on stress management, so I encourage you to check that out. The link for that is in the description below. Thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe to this podcast. I look forward to seeing you here again next time. Until then, I wish you joy and well-being.